Yeah, this isn't going to be very popular of an opinion. I already know that, and I didn't really actually want to talk about this, but I just decided I'd be a gigantic hypocrite if I didn't at least make a passing reference of it. So, Jordan Peterson banned off of Twitter for what he said, right? But, weird. I seem to remember, right? Okay, he had a very base take about this abomination on the cover of Sports Illustrated, right? Back in May 16th, right? Canadian doctor turned YouTuber, doctor, professor, now turned intellectual YouTuber, whatever you want to call it, right? I have big reverence for Jordan Peterson. I just don't like what he did here. I really don't, okay? Because, well, like I said, this is not going to be all that popular, but just hear me out a little bit, okay? So, quote tweeted the Post's story on May 16th, about Sports Illustrated cover model Yumi Nu's debut. And yes, I tore her apart because she's just so fucking basic. She might be a wonderful girl, okay? She got nice hair, a very nice smile. She has a good teeth to gum ratio. I appreciate that. Nothing's really off, but at the same time, is she cover model beautiful just from her face? Not really, unless she's got like a banging body on top of that, but again, she's built like a Walmart shopper. Like, why the fuck are you putting that on the cover? On the cover of Sports Illustrated. And I know that you had 4 different covers that were out there. One that had 40-year-old Kim Kardashian's fucking goofy ass, okay? And then Elon Musk's mom, who's like 75 on there as well. And she, out of the swath of people that were on there, including her double issue, okay? Elon Musk's mom probably had the most real and put together body, even at 70, but still, okay? They got old Wendy Cellulite here, Yummy New, sorry, which is what she says whenever there's an unopened bag of chips in the pantry. Yummy New. But no, Peterson made a very obvious observation, tweeted it out. He is known for his takes on society and that there's a societal decay going on right now and the infusion of neo-Marxism, intersectionality, postmodernism. And yes, you're trying to hold up somebody who has failed on multiple levels, okay, to be a healthy individual, to live up to a pre-existing standard. Nothing against her, right? Okay, I'm just talking about, this could be any other basic fat bitch that you'd see shopping at Target, okay? It really doesn't matter that it's her. I'm just talking about Sports Illustrated, putting a bitch who would have to pack it up at 4 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night out at a bar, okay? Let's be honest, she's fine. That's it. I would say, if my personal opinion, okay, face and everything, very, very cute smile. She's still a 4. She's still a 4 at the end of the day, okay? And I can't tell for sure, but she's probably got those nipples that point straight downwards, so maybe a 3, okay? Peterson was making his opinions known after normally just kind of keeping everything when it came to the social issues of this magnitude, mostly keeping those interpretations quiet. And then, of course, you had the posse who think that men and women are the same, okay, come out and was like, well, you're nothing to look at. And it's like, that's not important, okay? Who do you think is a better known worldwide and better respected? Okay, a fat model or a best-selling author who's on his 2nd sold-out world tour? Tomato, tomato. Women get judged on their looks. Men get judged by their accomplishments. That's the way that works. So, and again, how many more covers is Yummy New? You mean what the fuck ever? How many more covers is she gonna get? Okay, once we finally move past this fucking body positivity and healthy at any weight acceptance shit, okay, once all of these fat cunts start to get into their 50s and, you know what, hey, well, not even that far, okay, once their pre-diabetes kicks in, you know what, they all start losing their fucking feet. Because Christ almighty, remember when bitches used to be thin? Remember when that used to be the thing? Okay, oh my god, there's so much anorexia and bulimia. When was the last time you seen a report on that? Yeah, no, exactly. But women are independent thinkers. They just don't think like the mob and everything that they see around them. They're definitely, yeah, you free spirits. They're definitely not highly impressionable. Anyways, what Peterson said, at the time, which I totally agreed with and backed up and did an entire video on, in fact. Okay, so sorry, not beautiful. And no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that. And listening to enough of his stuff, reading both of his books multiple times, I already knew where he was going with this, okay? You can't be forced to say that something's beautiful. You can't have compelled speech put in your mouth and regurgitated, okay? She's cute. She's not hot. She's not swimsuit model hot, okay? She's Pennington's model hot. If you want to cover, cool. Go to sign up for Reitman's or something like that. Like Elaine Bryant probably has a wonderful sponsorship opportunity for you. It's terrific. Hours later, he announced his departure from the popular social media app amid criticism. Remember, May 16th, he announced his departure. Okay, he would be I'm going to be handing over my password to my team. And I'm only going to post on here just through them. Their thoughts. I will not be posting on here. It's too toxic. I can't have that. Peterson, in a Thursday email to Telegraph, stood firm by his statement, claiming the tweet was not a mistake, nor was it the reason I left Twitter. Huh? Okay, dude, this is where you start to lose me, okay? Because it was pretty obvious at the time. We need not drag all of that stuff. But no, he was gone. But then now he's gone from Twitter, right? Now he's been suspended indefinitely from Twitter, okay? But he left. And then within a couple of weeks, then he started to return, okay? I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You're supposed to be making a stand here. Like, you had the opportunity to leave on your own terms, and then now what? You just tried to make a martyr out of yourself? I like what he talks about. I think he misses the point when it comes to just modern day relationships. But outside of that, if he could just understand that the accountability that he keeps pushing, all of the not neocon, he's not a neocon. Neocon's a derogatory term, okay? The Trad-Cons that are out there, the guys that he signed on with, like Ben Shapiro and the whole Daily Wire crew, all of those Trad-Cons are just as bad as feminists when it comes to hurting modern men out here. Just accept your responsibility. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but you have no authority behind that responsibility, and that's why we're in the situation we are right now. Once that authority behind the responsibility got stripped away from the man, okay, because he had the say in the house, and then you had all of the sexual liberation that was out there, right? The 1960s, early 1960s, that's when women were joining the workforce en masse. Okay, that's when they had their independence enshrined, right? And then they started to want more independence. Then you had another generation come out. Then you had the 70s, the sexual freedom of the 70s, all the way up until about the early 80s, and then AIDS kicked in, right? And you had women leveraging their sexuality for the first time in human history, really, just unprotected sex with the pill, of course. It was a beautiful time, and we'll never get back to that because of unfortunate things like AIDS popping up, but that's neither here nor there. But the dynamic between men and women started to shift, and because Jordan, like many other Trad-Cons that are out there, have only fucked one woman, they've only had one relationship, and they think that that's the way it is for most people. They'll eventually find that one person that is destined for them. That's not the way shit works, especially in the 21st century. We are 21 and a half years through the 21st century. Okay, everything has changed. Meeting your soulmate at a bar, at the church, at a library, those times are gone. Have you been to a library lately? It's mostly a homeless encampment. Have you been to the bar lately? I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, have you gone to church? There's as many single mothers and thoughts in those pews as there are just good church-going folks. The time of meeting people face to face, that's long gone. What are the biggest ways that people meet in today's day and age, and they have for the past 10 to 15 years? Online. Yes, exactly. And you don't get a fair and accurate representation of the person that's online, and you're just kind of going by ear, okay? You take a look at their Instagram profile, the biggest dating app online bar none. That's where all of the interaction goes on. That's where all of the Saudi princes just offer to flew out some girls who are fitness models on there to be turned into the Dubai porta potty, or just come and please my camel. You think I'm joking? That shit goes down. Right, normally down the front of her, but they come back $100,000 richer, and modern men are just supposed to accept that because we all just need to man up. Doesn't matter how many miles of dick has run through that girl, she likes you, and you are responsible to that. And all you need to do is just wake up and pray. Fuck off. You're just like those idiots that are out there saying, well, I just manifest it and it's just going to happen someday. Like I stated previously in another video when we were doing some recaps and stuff, I am not a religious person, but I think the guidelines of most of the religions out there have good principles to them. So if you want to be adhering to those principles, maybe a little bit stricter than I do, totally awesome. Fantastic, okay? The Judeo-Christian fundamentals and values, they're essential to the underpinnings of a good, healthy Western culture. And I think that a return to that would definitely help, okay? But you have to update that with all of the advancements in technology and the fact that the disparity between cities and rural municipalities is even greater than anybody could have anticipated in any point in time. All of those Trad-Cons, they don't understand that. Feminists are still out there just trying to rip down the entire society, and they just hate men, okay? Trad-Cons, they hate men in a different way. They hate the modern man and just think that we can return back to the 1950s or even the 1980s, back when everything was great. Big hair, big drugs, free sex, strong, independent men with big Aquanet fucking frizzy disasters. It's like, it was a great time. The music was fucking great, and the movies were pretty dope as well, but there's no turning back. There's no fucking pendulum that's out there. The pendulum's never going to swing back. It's just the course. We are on a path through history. Now, we've obviously deviated. We've strayed away from God, as it were, but we can course correct, okay? We'll eventually get to our destination, whatever the fuck that looks like, but just telling men to man up, accept a responsibility, bear a huge load, that doesn't help, okay? Because the bitches are out there. They're bearing huge loads. Lots of them. And if you just think that you're going to find a good virtuous girl out there, if men just decide to, men man up, women are going to women up. No, they aren't. They're going to do what's working for them right now. And if you don't punish bad behavior, then you're just going to have to reconcile the fact that you've got some 304 on your arm and everybody's laughing at you behind your back. There is no marrying your high school sweetheart anymore for the vast majority of people out there. I knew one guy. I was a good friend with him from high school. He married his high school sweetheart. 10 years later, they were divorced, and she was out fucking in, I think, Edmonton or some shit like that, and he got left destitute, okay? One of my best friends in school, in high school, all the way from grade school all the way through high school, right? He was never fucking, okay? He was never getting bitches in high school, and then he got his first girlfriend, and oh my God, took him through the ringer. Then he started, this was a dude who was sober as the day is long. Then, after he started hooking up with his bitch, she was a model. Ugh. No, she wasn't, but at least in my opinion, she said she was a model, but then again, a lot of bitches say that they're models. No, he was completely straight-laced, and then, yeah, started hooking up with his bitch, and then started smoking every morning, okay, starting to drink a little heavier than he used to. So he would start drinking socially after he became of age, and it's like, that's fine. But then, yeah, things definitely started to take a turn for the worse, all because of a bitch. All because these guys get sold the idea that your soulmate is out there. You just need to man up and be the best you are. There are no soulmates. Don't get one-itis, because then the power shifts from you to the woman, and you never want yourself in that situation. Men lead relationships. Once you get that through your fucking head, things get a hell of a lot better for you. You're the architect of your own design. You find your purpose, you achieve your purpose, You just naturally attract bitches because you're a successful person. That's the way that shit works, okay? But anyways, we're definitely straying away from Peterson, okay? I like his principles. Like I said before the big old ramble here, I just think he misses the mark on some things. And especially when it comes to Twitter. You said you were fucking leaving, and then you came back like a 16-year-old girl, like your fucking daughter out there who's just, oh, don't get me started on that one. Oh! But anyways, still, no. You just came back to make some fucking benign posts, and then you just decided to like, I'm so fucked up by this stuff, obviously. I hold him in pretty high regard. It's just this was so blatantly stupid. You were playing with fire. You knew you were playing with fire. You got the desired result, and then people are immediately like, oh, Twitter, what are you doing? I thought you were going to be a free speech platform. The fuck are you thinking? Okay, obviously, they don't apply their policies. There's no blanket application when there's no fair sides when it comes to Twitter DOS. Like, what fucking year is this? Haven't we known this for like 8, 9, 10 years at this point? Twitter hates anybody who is right of Stalin, for fuck's sakes, okay? So if you are a prominent person and you tweet out anything that could be misconstrued as violence, okay? Even if it's a quote, even if it's sarcasm or parody, you will be gone. You will be gone if you have wrongthink, okay? And Peterson, because he misgendered somebody on Twitter, which is, oh my God, what an affront to society. That's in the Twitter TOS. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I think it's fucking retarded, okay? And by saying fucking retarded on Twitter, I'd have my account taken down. I know the rules. He knows the fucking rules. He was playing with fire in order to make a point, and guess what? Yeah, you could have left on your own accord, but then you just had to come back. You just had to come back and poke the bear, and then the bear fought back, and then immediately, oh my God, all the Trad-Cons come out of the fucking rafters to come and defend you. And it's like, I agree, Twitter has bad fucking policies, but you knew the policies as well as I did. Should you be indefinitely suspended? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But maybe my problem, now that I'm thinking more about this, is less with Peterson, and it's more with just those fucking hangers-on that are just trying to push their agenda out there. But let's get to the gist of this, okay? Best-selling author and psychologist. Oh, he's not just a YouTuber. Oh, good. What a difference between New York Post and Epoch Times. Has been barred from Twitter after he made the comments regarding a transgender actor, his daughter, Michaela Peterson. Oh no, she's Michaela Fuller right now, and she posts a lot of weird pictures from her second marriage. Anyways, Jordan B. Peterson got a Twitter strike. No more Twitter until he deletes the tweet. Definitely not a free speech platform at the moment at Elon Musk. He hasn't bought the company yet. What the fuck is he going to do? Okay, and him, oh my God, Elon Musk hasn't tweeted in like 2 weeks. What are we going to do? He's an enigmatic figure. He's just drumming up speculation. It was announced prior to him going on his sabbatical, right? Which I guess he was meeting with the Pope, which has its own weird kind of situation around it in and of itself. But no, he was just kind of drumming up speculation. That's all that he was doing. So again, oh my God. If I'm going to drag liberals over the fact that they don't understand, okay, basic rulings from the Supreme Court, Roe v. Wade doesn't mean that abortion is now verboten and you're all just going to be forced to be pregnant and barefoot all the time. That's not what that means. And Elon Musk doesn't own Twitter yet. For fuck's sakes, get your shit right. But here I am talking about a woman who thinks that she can still have it all, and she's still going to have a soulmate out there, but still won't elaborate on the fact that I just didn't feel safe in my first relationship. Twitter post featured screenshots of comments Jordan Peterson, had made about Canadian actor and producer Elliot Page. Yeah, exactly. The Juno star. Not Michael Cera, the one that was pregnant. Yeah, no, exactly. And because whatever, their career was dead, they decided to transgender after coming out as a lesbian and then trashing Trump. And then Trump wasn't in office anymore and they needed a little attention. So yeah, no, exactly. I'm going to cut off my tits. It wasn't exactly that much of an invasive procedure. Now I'm Elliot Page and I'm a dead ringer for that, the Virgin Chad meme. Yeah, exactly. I think you know which one she looks exactly, or he looks exactly like. Oh my God, I don't want to get yeeted off of YouTube. Anyways, remember when pride was a sin and Ellen Page just had her breasts removed by a criminal physician? He's being particularly insightful, okay? He knows that he's poking the bear on this one, okay? And I know he got big off the back of Bill 16 where he would not be compelled to say stupid made-up pronouns, okay? I understand. This is his shtick, okay? And I totally agree with it, okay? I'm not being derogatory with my explanation on this. I think he's totally in the right on this one by just making what would normally be a very banal comment, okay? Even though he's kind of missed the boat on this one because, well, yeah, that transitioned like just about 2 years ago, a year and a half at this point. Yeah, just a little bit more background on this. Violated company rules in a screenshot shared by Michaela Peterson. Funny how they keep quoting her like that. She's changed her last name, guys, or at least her Twitter handle. On Wednesday, Twitter said that her post from her dad violated the company's rules on hateful conduct. You may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or serious disease, Twitter said. Promote violence? State of fact. Like, I don't see any violence that's here. Twitter said it temporarily limited some of Peterson's account features, such as he can only browse Twitter and only send direct messages to his followers, no tweets, retweets, fleets? Fuck is that? Follows or likes. Oh, okay, cool. It's kind of like how I have a dead account that I only use that for, but whatever. Your account will be restored to full functionality in 12 hours. You can start your countdown and continue to Twitter once you delete the content that violates our rules. Well, okay, and again, this is why the response to this pisses me off a lot more than Peterson himself, okay? And I'm not going to simp for him or just walk back any of my statements, okay? He didn't violate that policy, okay? He's not promoting violence against or threaten or harass. That's such a blanket term. That's like when it comes to impeachment where it's high crimes and misdemeanors, okay? Like, what does that mean? Like, we need a pretty concrete definition when it comes to harass. He's just repeating what happened back at the end of 2020, okay? So yeah, Peterson will never delete the post. Dave Rubin, a political gay commentator and host of the Rubin Report, another guy that I respect, even though he has just a weird vocal incantation, but whatever, said that Peterson told him he will never delete the Twitter post. The insanity continues at Twitter. Jordan B. Peterson has been suspended for this tweet about Ellen Page. He just told me he will never delete the tweet. And the radical left. PragerU, a non-profit producing conservative educational videos. Oh, God. More Trad-Cons. On Wednesday, launched a petition to free Jordan Peterson. How about just get off Twitter? How about just in solidarity flee that fucking failing ship instead of just try to turn him into a martyr? I hate this response. Twitter is fucking garbage, dude. Twitter continues its assault on free speech. PragerU has been fighting against big tech censorship for years, and click through here to buy our book. Twitter locked Jordan Peterson's account and demanded that he delete the offending message, blah, blah, blah. Long and short of it, they're just going to use Peterson doing something controversial in order to promote their products, because let's be honest, that's what they do. It's a big racket when it comes to these conservative types. I like Dennis Prager, founder of PragerU, okay? Very smart individual who, again, like Peterson, has a lot of opinions that I really like and really agree with. They just miss the mark when it comes to certain very important things, okay? When it comes to drilling down to what the central problem is on this one, I don't know, man. They start to see the whole female problem that's there, and then they just deviate right off to the side. And the fact that Peterson just has that specter of his daughter just leaning over his shoulder, okay, and I don't hate her for her diet or anything like that, like a lot of other people do. You made him sick. It's like, no, that's not the fucking case, you dummy. A lot of factors factored into that, but just the way that she tries to handle herself, speaks out of one side of her mouth and then acts on the other. Well, I'm a very dedicated mother, but then you ask for a full-time babysitter so you can go gallivant about the world with your father. Like, what the fuck, okay? You couldn't accomplish everything that you did when it came to rehabilitating your dad without your first husband, okay, whatever his name was. I can't even remember, nor do you at this point, okay, because you've already moved on to a new simp who just walks around with a vacuum cleaner in his hand, okay, and then just always looks like he's doting over you with your fucking tits hanging out in your wedding picture. Regardless, okay, they don't want to reconcile that human interactions and female nature has drastically shifted since they've ever been in the dating market, okay? Ben Shapiro, Dennis Prager, okay, Matt Walsh pushing this fucking documentary. I'm sure it's great work. I just couldn't care less about anything that Matt Walsh does. Kind of like Michael Knowles, kind of like Andrew Klavan. But again, those types, they're good for men out there. I'm not saying they're bad or anything like that. It's just, it's an incomplete worldview. It's just take this opportunity to do something better with it instead of just promote your own fucking work, okay? Because not long after this Twitter suspension, Daily Wire announced that they've signed on Jordan Peterson. So yeah, they're using it as another marketing opportunity, which again, fine, wonderful. But in solidarity, you guys should just get the fuck off of Twitter, you know, do something equally as egregious in Twitter terminology, okay? Or just get clarification from Twitter. So again, I think it's a lost platform. I think all of the damage has already been done. So not seeing his bad takes on Ukraine or his initial takes on my pandemic. I can live without that. But yeah, man, like Peterson, still like him a ton. Okay, still have his books over there prominently displayed on my bookshelf. So just don't say one thing and don't do another. Stay ideologically sound. That's all we've ever wanted from him, okay? That's what he preaches, but again, do as I say, not as I do sometimes, okay? I'm adding a little addendum before we end this video right here. This was just a couple of days later, and Dave Rubin, somebody who I like, somebody who I've criticized for just having the same banal takes. I might have even done it in this video. I haven't gone back and watched it or anything like that before adding this little extra on the end here, but he's been suspended for a reason that makes absolutely no sense. He just literally said the name Ellen Page. That was the only thing that was even alluding to the situation in his tweet, and he got yeeted from the platform. Is it enough time? Have enough people seen that Twitter and big tech, regardless of reform, are not your fucking friend? Get off the goddamn platform already. Make a fucking stand. Dave Rubin, suspended from Twitter for tweeting out about Jordan Peterson's Twitter suspension, asks Musk for help. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Sure, no, he's been confirmed a couple of different times by the Twitter board that, yep, no, his bid for Twitter, it's been accepted. And I'm tired of hearing that. Actually, until the point where Elon Musk puts pen to fucking paper, he has full ownership. He takes it off the stock market. It's not his. He's not doing anything about that. And even if you get access back to your Twitter account, don't fucking go back on. Take the fucking stand right fucking now. Conservative pundit Dave Rubin, but he's a classical liberal, revealed that he had been suspended from Twitter for merely tweeting news about famed Canadian psychology professor and philosopher Jordan Peterson's own suspension from Twitter. Like, if there was like a back chatter or something like that, distributing private communications or like something like that, and that's what he got hit for, that would be a totally different situation. But he didn't. That's at least not what he got hit for, which is just, it's bizarre. Like, it's far more bizarre, really. On Tuesday, Rubin provided a statement on other social media platforms revealing his suspension and asking potential Twitter owner Elon Musk to help get rid of the platform of woke activists. That's their entire user base, okay? Like, honestly, Twitter's a fucking garbage platform, guy. You made a Patreon alternative for reasons because Patreon was becoming a woke shithole. You made locals, okay? Look at Twitter, okay? There's many other alternatives that's out there. Getter's one of them. Gab's run by a complete fucking nut job. Parler's dead, but how about Truth Social? If they'd ever open it up to the public, that could be fun. But even still, who gives a fuck about Twitter? It's a dying platform, and you get rid of all the interesting people, you're just going to see woke on woke violence, and you can just sit back, point, and laugh because, well, hey, that always degenerates into that type of shit. But anyways, so... and pushing back on big tech censorship against viewpoints they disagree with. I would just, okay, if I was Elon Musk, I'd be like, okay, too many bots are over here. I can't do anything with the platform. Just please buy YouTube, because that would be so much better. That would be far better use of your funds. But anyways, a boy can dream. In the statement, Rubin wrote, I have been suspended by Twitter for posting a screenshot of Jordan Peterson's tweet, which got himself suspended. While it is unclear how I broke the terms of service, he continued, it is clear they are breaking the fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders by letting a bunch of woke activists run the company, the radical left. A screenshot provided by Rubin that was shared by conservative users on the social media platform showed Twitter's notice to the pundit. The notice included text to Rubin's tweets concerning Peterson, as well as an advisory to delete said tweet. And then what? Your 12-hour ban will begin as the moment that you delete your tweet, right? So it's not like you've been banned. You've been given a road back. God, you fucking just alarmists. Rubin's offending tweet from June 29th read, the insanity continues at Twitter. Jordan B. Peterson has been suspended for his tweet about Ellen Page. He just told me he will never delete the tweet. Yeah, and then right after that, Jordan Peterson deleted his released his Twitter ban video and then just started doing work for, I don't know, Daily Wire Plus. But more on Ben Shapiro in a moment, which kind of just circles around really nicely to what I was talking about earlier in the video about political grifters others that are out there not doing anything and only just trying to pad their own bank account. Anyways, on June 22nd, Peterson showed a Twitter, whatever gimmick, who cares? But Rubin added paging at Elon Musk. On what platform is he talking about? To the end of his tweet, hoping to get attention. Oh, right, yes, to the billionaire CEO. But then that was taken down, so I don't know if he got to see it by then. I'm sure he's probably a very, very, very busy man. In Rubin's July 5th statement, he also expressed hope of Musk's purchase of Twitter goes through so he can blow up their servers and humanity can move past this pervasive, twisted, self-imposed mental institution. Yeah, ain't gonna happen, dude. Then you have one guy who's actually out there doing some good work and not just trying to grift for his own benefit. Douglas Murray, sorry, he put some respect on that name. So, Rubin Report has been suspended from Twitter for commenting on Jordan Peterson. Being suspended from Twitter. Does Twitter intend to have a future? Also, could you explain whether Elliot was ever Ellen or Caitlin was ever Bruce? Good point. Good point. Very good point, in fact, because, yeah, there were also some other reports, and I seen those as well. Okay, there were some headlines, and then there were some write-ups, I think, from BuzzFeed or something like that, which also made me a little bit lightheaded from the amount of cancer that I was receiving from it. But they allowed Ellen Page to trend. They dead-named, and they co-signed this hatred at Twitter, and something needs to be done. So this right here has become the face of, God, let's just get off the screen, okay? Has become the face of the trans movement without really actually doing anything. I'm just not talking about his career anyways, but still. Conservative author John Cardillo tweeted, Rubin Report, who follows every rule and is an absolute class act, was suspended from Twitter about Peterson's improper suspension. The thought police demand absolute loyalty. Yes, indeed. I prefer Murray's commentary over the top of that, but I just called him a New York Post columnist. No, he's an author and like a really based individual. But you have Ariel Davidson. I don't know who this is, but she likes coffee and that sucks. Her response to Zach Schreiber, I don't fucking know. Is Jordan Peterson really talking about gender/sex? He refused to call somebody by their requested name. That's not rude. That's just rude and not nice. No. Again, we've been over this stuff for years at this fucking point. Don't make me comport to your twisted reality. Okay, good, great, wonderful, fantastic. And again, what was Peterson's even original tweet? Like I said, I'm recording this one a couple of days later just as a little bit of an update on all of this stuff to begin with. I'm trying to get to it. Oh, remember when pride was a sin and Ellen Page just had her breast removed by a criminal physician? Yeah, no, exactly. Really could have chose literally anything else out there. Could have used, yes, the Bruce and Caitlyn Jenner analogy. Wonder if that would have got so much because he did run, or she did. Sorry, my mistake. See how fucking stupid this shit is? But even still, okay, oh yes, and I remember when Bruce Jenner just got tits put into her fucking chest. He would be a little bit more eloquent than that, but maybe he got suspended for calling the physician a criminal. I don't really know. We're never going to get clarification on any of this stuff anyways. Even if Elon Musk turns everything back on, he's like, sorry for the inconvenience. And I'll just go, well, that's fine. As long as I can come back. And, whatever. But going back to Ariel Davidson here for a second. Okay, Peterson was referencing sex and the left's attack on objective reality. Yes, exactly. That's why he's just not going to call somebody, okay, by their requested pronouns if they aren't putting in the requisite work, okay? Because he also had an addendum to that in another interview as well. If he was having a conversation with somebody who he knows is engaging in good faith and they say that, you know what, I identify with pronouns, he said that, yeah, he'd use them. But normally when you're talking face to face to somebody, you ain't using pronouns. So all of that shit never fucking made sense to begin with. And really, if it's that big of a deal, just use your first name, okay? You don't you don't have to go up to somebody, and I'll just use myself as an example here, just saying, hi, my name is Dawn, but I used to be Dawn with an AWN, and now I use he, him pronouns. So would you like to talk? Why are you leaving? Why? Get back here, bigot. Like, see how fucking stupid that would be? And that's why these people are impossible to talk to face, but they can scream really loud on Twitter, so I guess that's scary. Anyways, we'll finish up with Ariel had to say here. I think that's her name. Don't really know. It's spelt weird. Peterson was referencing sex and the left's attack on objective reality, and he was suspended for doing so. Dave Rubin was then suspended for discussing Peterson's suspension. Orwellian nonsense. Yeah, no, exactly. And his tweet was like ridiculous. Okay, he didn't even reference anything other than he dead named somebody, which is, I guess if that was a Jeopardy question, okay, what was, prior to transitioning and coming out, what was Elliot Page's name? Oh, it's always been Elliot. Yeah, no, exactly. And who won the 1978 decathlon? Caitlyn Jenner. The male decathlon? Yes, because it's always been that way. No, we aren't rewriting history. And realistically, that's kind of what all this stuff is, because I'm sure you could probably still buy a copy of Juno or Hard Candy. I think that's that fucking piece of shit movie I seen with Ellen Page in it. God, she just made fucking terrible films for a long time. But you can probably still buy those films, and they're probably out there. I'm sure it's probably all updated on all the streaming services. That's why physical media is the best. But it probably still has Ellen Page right up there at the top, okay? But this is just giving these type of activists, okay? It's just giving them the ability to shape reality into whatever twisted nonsense they have for themselves, okay? But there's a third head. It's kind of like the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, okay? So we have the psychologist, the talk show host, and the little Jewish midget. Okay, so what did he have to say about all of this stuff as well? I was waiting, okay, because if it was just Rubin getting suspended, I wouldn't have even bothered adding the addendum to this video, but Ben Shapiro, a couple of hours ago, had to make this fucking comment, and it just fully encapsulates everything I was talking about. The thread is a pretty good summary of events, but it just shows how much of a chicken shit Trad-Con this fucking cuck is. God, I hate Ben Shapiro. Fucking useless. Everybody says everything he does, just better, with more nuance, and it's actually said at a perceivable cadence, okay? It's very impressive. You can express your thoughts in a very quick manner, okay? And it was very impressive back in 2015 and 2016 when you were destroying kids with facts and logic. Sweet, Milo was doing it, and he was at least witty and charming and charismatic about it. But I'm never going to forget the fact that you built Daily Wire on a fucking lie, my guy. Remember, you used to be editor-in-chief at Breitbart or something like that, and then one of Trump's security guards decided to push over one of my female coworkers, and I just can't work at Breitbart anymore because Steve Bannon's a part of my Donald Trump's campaign team, and I don't like Trump. But then all of a sudden, come 2020, because all of my viewership, they really like Trump, so then I decided to do all this big backpedal, and I really like Trump now all of a sudden. But then, hey, guess what? Maybe the lockdowns were a good thing, and maybe vax mandates were the best thing that the country could do at the time. You fucking piece of shit. I don't fucking forget. Anyways, here's his take on the thing. And I'm not doing my Ben Shapiro impression the entire time because it makes me physically fucking ill, and I'm at least twice as tall as he is. So, anyways, Rubin Report has now been suspended for posting news about Jordan B. Peterson's suspension. All because we were not allowed to mention that until 5 minutes ago. Elliot Page, who is very, very, very male, was a female actress named Ellen Page. Here's Dave's statement. All right, so he's kept it above board so far, and then again got all the background communication with Dave Rubin. Okay, so that was the tweet that got Dave Rubin suspended for saying basically the same thing that Shapiro's saying in the top statements. Okay, so again, to add any sort of commentary on the top of that, kind of like what Rubin did, okay, because Shapiro, of course, is just your intellectual fence sitter when it comes to this type of stuff. Okay, he knows how to traverse these waters, which is fine. I understand. Okay, you got to family to feed and a wife who's a doctor in order to perform for, because the hypergamy doesn't care. I understand. But this is where he starts to get into the cuckservative land, and I just fucking detest it. It's almost as embarrassing as saying, like, oh, I don't know, maybe Nikki Haley is your spirit animal, or getting thoroughly BTFO'd by Stephen Harper and one of the, I would have, if I would have got beaten down like that on my own talk show, probably would have taken down that interview, but hey, for anybody interested. Anyways, by the way, there is literally no way to make a factual statement about this issue if that tweet gets me suspended. Hilarious. I'm too big of a cuck to add my voice to this situation, okay, to make a stand against this platform that is censoring my friends, okay, somebody who I just recently partnered with in order to bring onto my platform, which I'll plug at the end of this thread, you grifter. Perhaps this is Twitter's change strategy for banning. If you note that Twitter has suspended somebody for mentioning the unmentionable, they erase you. Why don't you make a stand too? You have your own platform there, stupid. Okay. Then someone else mentions that you have been suspended and they are purged as well. Dead naming is when you notice that someone has changed his or her name. Gender ideology violates the laws of biology and logic as well as physics. Now that we engage in time travel and pretend that there was a man named Elliot Page who starred in Juno as a pregnant girl. And then, yeah, right at the end of the thread, because it gets into other people as well. By the way, if you're missing Jordan Peterson here on Twitter, I'd recommend that you check out my my paywalled service with a bunch of other neo-cucks as well. How terrific and wonderful, fantastic. Again, this is okay. What I said before when it comes to Peterson, okay, what he said is very congruent with what his ideology is, what his takes on most things are. I just didn't like the different people, their reaction to it, and I had this in mind as well. I kind of figured Ben Shapiro was going to take this route, and hey, just because the guy trends every once in a while because he gets a lot of engagement on Twitter, I just want to rock the boat that much. He wants to take advantage of all that stuff. He is not your friend. He is going to stab you in the back, or, given Ben Shapiro's height, in the calf if it's ever opportunistic for him. And it has nothing to do with the funny little hat. I just notice a pattern. With all that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. Depending on where I cut this, I think I probably cut it beforehand, so I'll just do my outro anyways. But I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I should follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone. Unless, of course, we need to add another addendum to this. But anyways, still, just be cool and be fair and be wonderful and dead name away. See how little I care.